Have you ever walked into a room and felt like someone already knew what you were thinking? Not because you said anything, but because they read you. Your posture, your tone, your eyes. They read you like a book before you ever spoke a word. This is not a superpower. It's not magic. It's science. It's an observation. And once you learn it, you will never see people the same way again. Welcome to the skill that gives you silent control in any situation. The skill of reading body language. What you're about to learn is not just information. It's a new lens. You'll be able to walk into job interviews and instantly feel who's insecure. You'll know when someone's lying to your face. You'll sense interest, attraction, discomfort, fear, all without a single word being said. In a world obsessed with what people say, you will be the one who understands what they really mean. And that's power. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to read body language in 3 stages. The foundational stage, where you learn the truth behind basic signals. The intermediate stage, where you analyze gestures and behavior in context. And the mastery stage, where you decode lies, detect power dynamics, and predict social outcomes. Let's begin. Sit up straight, take a deep breath, and lock in. Let's start with a simple truth. Most of what you believe about body language is wrong. Crossed arms don't always mean someone is closed off. Avoiding eye contact doesn't always mean they're lying. And not every smile is real. You've been fed pop psychology from social media. But if you want real insight, you need to forget these myths and build a clean foundation. So here it is. Body language is not about individual gestures. It's about patterns. Reading people is not about spotting one clue. It's about spotting consistency or inconsistency across their behavior, tone, and expression. For example, someone crossing their arms could be self-soothing, not defensive. Someone tapping their foot might be anxious or just listening to music in their head. Someone avoiding eye contact might simply come from a culture where direct eye contact is rude. So, how do you know what's going on? Simple. You observe their baseline. Everyone has a natural way of sitting, standing, and speaking when they're relaxed. Your job is to observe how they act when they're calm, and then watch what changes under pressure. That's the first lesson of real body language mastery: context over assumptions. Let's now build on this foundation with practical skills. This will be break into sections of hands, feet, face, and voice, because each part tells you something different. 1. Hands, the honest zone. Hands are one of the most expressive parts of the body. If someone's hands are relaxed, slightly curved, and moving fluidly, they are comfortable. But if they're stiff, clenched, or hidden in pockets, that's tension. Pay attention to palm exposure. When someone shows you their palms while speaking, it signals openness, honesty, and trust. When palms are hidden, turned down, or behind the back, it can show discomfort, concealment, or dominance. The handshake too is a goldmine. A neutral handshake, palm vertical, is respectful. A dominant handshake, palm facing down, is assertive. A submissive handshake, palm up, suggests inferiority. Politicians often use two-handed handshakes to signal control. One hand shaking, the other hand covering. Watch how people greet each other, and you'll instantly feel the power dynamics at play. 2. Feet, the truth below the waist. People can fake smiles and hand gestures. But feet don't lie. Why? Because most people are not conscious of their feet. That makes them honest. Watch where your feet point during a conversation. Are they facing you? That's interesting. Are they pointed away toward the exit or elsewhere? That's a sign they want to leave. This applies in group situations too. Want to know who the real leader is? Look at who the group's feet are pointed toward. And when you approach a group, see if their feet adjust to include you. If not, they may not want you to join. 3. Face, the window to emotion. Facial expressions are powerful. Let's simplify this into 2 core states: comfort and discomfort. Comfort, relaxed eyebrows, soft eyes, open mouth, genuine smiles. Discomfort, furrowed brows, clenched jaw, squinting eyes, tight lips. But here's what separates amateurs from experts: microexpressions. Microexpressions are tiny, involuntary facial movements, lasting less than a second, that reveal someone's true emotion before they can hide it. There are 7 universal microexpressions. 1. Happiness. 2. Sadness. 3. Anger. 4. Fear. 5. Disgust. 6. Surprise. 7. Contempt. These are the same across all cultures, and they are impossible to fake consistently. Train yourself to recognize them. There are free tools and flash exercises online to help you sharpen your eye. Even just watching interviews with sound off can teach you volumes. For voice, the emotion behind the words. Even if someone says all the right things, their voice tells you what they feel. Start with intonation. A rising tone often signals uncertainty or submission. A falling tone shows confidence and finality. Next, look at speed. When people are nervous, their words come fast. They rush to get them out. When someone speaks slowly and pauses, they are in control. Blinking rate is also key. Someone who blinks rapidly is often under stress. But again, know their baseline. Some people blink more than others naturally. Pupil dilation can signal agreement or attraction. It's the body's way of letting in more light to focus on something interesting. All these cues, facial tension, eye behavior, voice speed, combine to give you a real-time emotional radar. This is where you stop observing individuals and start reading groups, hierarchies, and intentions. Want to know who has power in a room? It's not who talks the most. It's who people look at before they speak. It's who takes the center position when walking. It's whose feet others point toward. Next, let's talk about congruence. Congruence means that someone's words match their body language. If they say, "I'm excited," and they're smiling, gesturing openly, making eye contact, that's congruent. But if they say, "I'm fine," while frowning, crossing their arms, and stepping back, they're not fine. Incongruence is your biggest red flag. Learn to trust that gut feeling when something doesn't match. Because here's the truth. Your subconscious brain is much faster at reading people than your conscious mind. Which leads us to deception detection. How do you know when someone's lying? Forget the Hollywood tricks. Liars don't always avoid eye contact. They don't always fidget. What they do is get the timing wrong. When someone is speaking truthfully, their gestures naturally precede their words. When someone is lying, they think first, then try to act. Their gestures follow the words. This delay, even just half a second, creates a gap your subconscious picks up on. That's the feeling you get when something feels off. Also, look for overcompensation, too much eye contact, exaggerated expressions, unnatural calmness. The best liars try to act the way they think truth looks, and they often do too much. Now that you've learned how to read people, how do you use it? Not to manipulate, not to judge, but to understand and navigate your world with clarity. In business, you'll spot who's insecure, who's bluffing, and who's worth your time. In dating, you'll sense real interest versus fake flattery. In friendships, you'll know who supports you and who just plays along. In interviews, meetings, and negotiations, you'll be 10 steps ahead. Because when others are focused on words, you're reading the truth. Here's the secret behind why this skill is so powerful. It gives you control. Control over your responses. Control over your social position. Control over your path. Think about it. If you could know how people feel. If you could spot lies before they unfold. If you could sense discomfort, dominance, attraction, and fear, all in a few seconds, how would that change the way you move? You'd walk differently, speak differently, command differently. This is why people like Ayana Koji seem untouchable. Not because they're superhuman, but because they see what others don't. Now you can too. Start practicing. Observe more. Speak less. Sharpen your awareness. And develop the calm, powerful presence of someone who sees everything, but says only what's needed. Thank you for watching. And remember, control your attention. Master your perception. Shape your world.